Welcome everybody to another installment of Opinions Are Stupid. Last week we took the week off because it was that time. It was Independence Day and there was the Olympics and this other stuff. By the way, very interesting, the Olympics, but we'll get to that in a minute. As well as some more COVID stuff. I wish I had like a thing for COVID, like you know what I'm saying, like one of those COVID thing.
A COVID meter.
A COVID meter or whatever. Because fucking the news, this shit isn't going away. The news for this shit is crazy, and it's crazier every week because I don't want to start COVID yet. We'll talk some other stuff. So how was your 4th of July weekend, bro? Was it good?
It was.
Oh,
good.
my co-host Jason
Visited some family in Staten Island, if you know who those people are.
Oh, really? Really?
I got a last minute call. A last minute call, and I said, "Are you gonna pick me up? That's the only way I'm going to that island." And they said, "I'm gonna pick you up."
You were like, "I'm right over the bridge. Come on, 15 minutes for you. 15 minutes."
Exactly.
15 minutes and 16 freaking bucks both ways now.
It's crazy.
Damn. Jesus, you know what's great about living in New York? Not living in Staten Island. No offense to the family in Staten Island.
It's true.
It's damn expensive. I know you get a break now. I think they get a break. They get only one way, and it's like $10 or something if you're a resident.
But still, and you can't get off the island. Like if there's traffic on the Verrazano, you're screwed. Like you wouldn't get to take the ferry over. That takes forever. Like
well.
No way out.
A couple of things. First of all, the Verrazano Bridge, unfortunately, is connected to maybe one of the worst vias in New York City, which is the Belt Parkway. The Belt Parkway is always choking, no matter where you are. As you know, your family lives pretty close. Other parts of the family live close to it. I'm not gonna say anything, but but the Belt Parkway says the best thing about the Belt Parkway though is if you want to get to anywhere in South Brooklyn, Coney Island. You want to get to the beaches on Long Island, on Long Island, like Jones
Long
Beach.
Island, right?
Rockaways, any of that shit, you gotta get on the belt. And unfortunately, Sunday morning, you might as well bring a gun with you because you're gonna kill yourself. It takes fucking forever to get anywhere.
It's good at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh yeah,
fly by.
3 o'clock, perfect. Go to the beach at night, get bit by a shark or some shit.
Right.
But seriously, Coney Island. Have you been to Coney Island lately? Have they doing fireworks again at night, or?
I haven't been to Coney Island since COVID started. Not because I'm afraid or anything. It's just been like. Actually, I shouldn't say that. I went last summer. I went last summer early.
What?
I went last summer like early, like 7 a.m., 8 a.m., like to get away from the chaos of people and stuff. It's Coney Island's a real tranquil beach. If you go like 6, 7 a.m., it's just really quiet. Like there's really nobody out yet. Nobody's buying hot dogs yet, so you don't have that crazy crowd. It's really very tranquil. And then
just the Russians bathing. The Russians with Bath Beach bathing naked.
I know what part of Coney Island you go to.
What is going on here? I don't know what that is. Okay. Zoom is being very strange. We're going to just make Zoom go away. That's what happens. So it's that kind of a thing. I agree with you. I've ridden my bike. You're not supposed to ride on the boardwalk anymore, but when you could, I used to ride down Ocean Parkway to Coney Island, ride on the boardwalk, and then ride back up Ocean Parkway because I used to live in a place called Gravesend. Folks, this is Brooklyn. Brooklyn has places called Gravesend. Bensonhurst, right next to Bensonhurst, Gravesend. Canarsie, named after the Canarsie Indians, which don't live there anymore because you know why. Laughing at and also
Canarsie is crazy because it's on a swamp.
Yes.
So like literally any type of rain, it's just like the whole basements get flooded and stuff. It's crazy out there.
There was a. Did you see the article? Speaking of swamps, you see the article in the New York Times about Chicago?
About what?
Chicago.
There's a few of them that pop up in the New York Times every couple of shootings or
no, not about the
political stories.
About the environmentally what's going to happen to Chicago if global warming continues.
No, what's supposed to happen to Chicago?
Well,
is it worse than Miami, where it's going to be underwater?
Yeah, well, Miami could now move back to Cuba, so it's all going to be good because Cuba had food riots last weekend, And Biden was like, food riots, hey, democracy. And I'm like, oh, okay. You know, it's ridiculous. But no, but what the article basically insinuated is that because of global warming, Chicago was built on a swamp, or marshlands, as we call them today.
Marshlands, right.
So what's going to happen basically is Chicago will slowly be sucked in by the Great Lakes. That beach they like, it's going to be gone soon. As a matter of fact, anything that's built by that beach is going to be gone soon too. It's pretty frightening because there's a lot of excuse me, I got to get up, people, and show my t-shirt. It's really frightening because there's a lot of stuff that's happening. It's just freaking scary, man. I mean, global warming is changing. Did you hear about what happened yesterday in the neighborhood, in our various neighborhoods?
What do you mean?
The tornado warning?
There was like tornado warning? Yeah, I thought that's what you were wondering, was the tornado warnings.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
It's absolutely nuts.
By the way, I lived through a tornado in Brooklyn a few years back.
That's
when
right.
I remember that? Mm-hmm. And it was around, I want to say 4:00 in the morning, and it was the craziest noise, howling winds that I've ever heard in my life. You know, I've been through hurricanes and stuff, but this was like, it really just kind of, the noises was so weird. It sounded like it was like, you know, explosions going on because it's just hitting concrete and walls and just popping off and just continues to go on. So it really is an interesting thing. And to see how one side of a block is kind of like the roofs are blown away, but the other side is like totally unchanged. It's crazy. It really is. Yeah. I couldn't imagine how you live in like Tornado Alley and just go through that, you know.
Tornado Alley's, everything's based on like, you know, all those houses are one-story ranches,
right?
That are, you know, basically wood and some freaking. We are lucky that we live in concrete blocks, right?
Right. And even that during the tornado was blown away. Like that's what I'm saying. Like stuff was damaged pretty badly, and it was a very like low category tornado.
Yeah, there was a very small one that went through Bloomfield that knocked down some trees where I live.
Right.
I had to spend $1,000 cleaning it up, and my next door neighbor was like, the tree went through my car, and I was like, it's your tree.
Right. Fix it.
It was my tree, okay, well, you know, but it was your tree, so call your insurance company.
Right. Your tree fell on your car.
Yeah. Your tree, your car, your problem. And by the way, that's going to be much more interesting because the insurance company is going to people are going to start asking for insurance money for places like in New York for things that are happening because of global warming. I'm surprised that we're even talking about global warming today, like it's a thing. because last week Exxon was like, we got to make sure that there's no environmental anything. Stop Biden from this environmental stuff. And there was all this stuff that happened, which I thought was really, really interesting. Over the last few weeks, you know, we talk about taxes, we talk about all this stuff like we always talk about here on the show. This is a show, actually, and
it's a thing, people. It's a thing.
And we talk about this stuff on the show about taxes and stuff. And the biggest thing that we find really interesting is how much money these giant petrol companies, gas companies put into our government to keep stuff off, environmental, like keep the EPA off their backs, to keep our government giving them some kind of a tax break. It's like these guys make millions, billions of dollars a year, and somehow we need to make sure that they get taken care of. Why would anyone? And don't get me wrong, I'm not talking about the mom and pop oil places out in Texas that, you know, are small businesses and are wildcatters or any of that shit. I'm talking about ExxonMobil, and BP, and these giant corporations that we somehow give a break to. Why the fuck do they need a break? I'm asking from the point of view of a taxpayer.
Right.
Who no political anything, you know. I gotta put gas in my car. Speaking of cars, did you get one yet?
No, not yet. We're still debating which one. You know, you guys do.
Stelsos, man. That Stelsos is getting a lot of press.
Exactly.
Is that still on the table?
Yeah. We're still with. it's just one of those where we got to do a test drive, but you got to drop the kids off because you want to be able to have them in the back seat screaming and dropping stuff in the
Well, I
back.
can tell you one thing, and I'm gonna do this maybe one time only. You can leave them with me because there's a Kia dealership not too far away from me.
Look at you planning ahead.
I'm just letting you know. I got a big TV. I can give them stuff to knock them out. It'll be fine.
Exactly.
I'll say, I haven't seen Luca. Let's sit down here with Luca time. Come on.
Oh my god.
Or whatever. I don't know. No, seriously. But if there is one in Jersey City, not too far away from me. If you want me to hold on to your kids in an afternoon or an evening, happy.
He's a family man. He's a family
man. My family. So back to the taxes. Why the hell are we doing this?
What? But my question to piggyback off that is when these these companies make millions and billions of dollars a year, how come they're not ahead of this? Like, why are they putting money into stopping this? Talk about global warming. Why don't they just kind of create the new initiative so we can like be in the forefront and just like dominate in the next millennium when it comes to the new type of jobs and a new type of power? Right. I don't understand why we're still looking at 1920s technology.
Because their entire corporations revolve around getting oil out of the ground, making it into gasoline and petrochemical products, and then selling it to you. That's it.
Right.
They haven't. You're right. Hey, what about our future? You know what they said? Fuck that. That's just the oil out of the ground. Oil out of the ground. That's what we got to do. Oil out of the ground.
They're going to do this eventually,
and the oil will
run out.
Yeah, but they're very short-sighted. Their whole idea was next 5 years, next 10 years. That's all they cared about. And they had people in power. George W. Bush, Ronald Reagan. These people are not forward-thinking leaders, man. They're not thinking of the future. Why would they do that? The future is the next 10 minutes where I get paid. And that's all they think about. And I know that we can't... Look, as millennials... You're on the edge of millennial... You're more millennial than I am. I'm sorry. As Generation Xers, the realization is this. We could always say, and there's some of us that aren't thinking that way. What about the future? I've always asked that question. What happens when gas runs out? Do you remember back when we had that? I don't know if you remember this. You might not. You were because you weren't born yet.
Gas shortages.
When I was a little kid, there was a gas shortage in the 70s. There was a gas, and the gas shortage made people think, well, shit, oil sucks, right? But they couldn't make the jump to what they can do to make oil not suck. Other than, I know, let's put corn in it.
Right.
I'm serious. That's all we came up with. Like, let's do some kind of corn thing, and that begs the question of what the fuck. Now we have now in our ability, in our situation, that's as we're moving through technology and understanding.
Now but before we do that was middle 70s, late 70s.
Yeah.
That was about 35, 40 years ago. So we didn't have the solar power technology or infrastructure that we have now, and we don't even have much now. But we didn't have it back then.
The problem was never the problem was never. It was always the investment. Nobody wanted to invest in those things because we had oil. But as things change. Like, remember the solar power car race movie? We built a solar power car that can run at 10 miles an hour, and our car is going to be faster, and all that shit. That kind of innovation spurred things. I don't know. We've had windmills forever, man.
Right. But they kill
windmills attached to turbines, turn the turbines, make electricity. I don't know. But the unfortunate thing is we never had a way to keep it somewhere. There's a lot of integral pieces that go to the. That's why nuclear power was so popular until 3 Mile Island, because you had nuclear fuel, right? That you could burn and create power. The unfortunate thing is that unless you have very specific standards, nuclear power is a problem. Now we have other ways to generate nuclear power. Actually, right now, in a lot of ways, nuclear power is the fastest, safest way to do it. If Texas really wanted to save itself, they would put these smaller nuclear reactors on the grid. And I say that, and people are like, "Wah!" But we're steps away from fusion power soon. We're currently at fusion. We're steps away from fusion. fusion will change the game again. So there's a lot of different things we can do. Shit, there's water powered cars that run on hydrogen. Why aren't we using that? You know why.
Right. Now, the Indian power plant, that's been shut down, right? The one that's close to New York City?
You know, it doesn't help that it was built on a fault.
I know. It's crazy. I've always said that. Like you have these stories of like, especially in California, where you have these earthquakes, and then they show the fault line, because it's cracking and it's splitting apart, and then you have houses like right on the fault line. Like that this is coming. Like, why would you buy a house on a fault line? It's crazy.
Why would you buy a house? Why would you buy a house on the beach? Now
I agree, but at least you get a little bit of
why would you buy a condo in Miami at this point? You know what I'm saying?
I know.
I mean,
By the way, they're shutting down government buildings. Did you see that? Like last week,
Miami?
A government building. Yeah, not too far away because they found like I think it's like it was a courthouse, I think, and like the top like 8 floors were not structurally sound, so they shut it down. So now Miami and the whole, I guess, southern Florida is basically checking every building there is now, and they're finding stuff that seems a little bit conspicuous, if you know what I mean.
I don't know. I don't live in Miami.
no desire going to South Florida.
Anything that was built in the mid 2000s is suspect now.
Right.
We have a long way to go with the environmental stuff, but like a taxpayer, I'm wondering why do we have to give these guys any money? I don't see that. Right. One of the things Biden's trying to do is to stop that. I got into a conversation with somebody. Biden was like talking yesterday about something positive actually, and there were so many Trumpers on the line saying stuff like, "Hey, Biden's blah blah blah. We want Trump back," and I'm like, "Why? To kill more people?" I don't understand.
Well, he was at CPAC.
It's like,
was it CPAC? He was in Dallas talking
today. This is interesting, right?
Right.
Today there was a bunch of hackers and that in Russia that all of a sudden went offline.
Cozy Bear? Was it Cozy Bear?
Not Cozy Bear. Cozy Bear was that's the Russian military guys.
Right.
No, these guys were the guys that were doing the kidnapping, the digital whatever when they stop your.
Oh, like right. And they were doing they wanted crypto money and stuff like that.
Yeah, they wanted crypto money. They've been doing it all over Europe and all over in America for the last 2 years or so. And Biden was like, "Hey, listen, man, we don't think it's you, Russian government, Mr. Putin, but if you don't do something about this, there's going to be maybe some stuff you don't want to happen." And then he said, "Would you like that to happen to you?" "Oh, I don't care." "Oh, okay." Because he knew Putin knows that there will be sanctions, and sanctions affect the oligarchs that live in Russia. And when the sanctions affect the oligarchs and money stops flowing, people get angry at Putin. The only reason why Putin's in charge of Russia is because he's beholden to these guys. And I'm not trying to be all kinds of whatever. Putin is also one of them, right? He's going to be president until 2030 or whatever. Or whatever his point of view is. But the realization is this: he can't afford not to keep that money rolling. So he's gonna shut stuff down, even if it affects because at the end of the day, it's like, we'll just do you like your pretty Mercedes Benz? Maybe you won't have it anymore. You know what I mean? 'Cause he's a punk. Yeah. He's a fucking punk. That's the whole point of these motherfuckers. Is it's all about money with them, and they're fucking punks. And if you stand up to them just like Biden did, stuff changes. Oh, all of a sudden Russia's not doing this anymore. Why not? Because they don't have Trump to be kick around. Because Trump isn't like, my friend Putin. Come on, man, get out of here.
Well, didn't Putin say that that Biden's actually a formidable opponent because he actually knows politics and he understands a game. Like the one thing about Trump is, whether you like him or not, a guy like Putin, head of a KGB at one point, basically can read a guy like that and use the chaos that he has to his advantage. But a guy like Biden, who's more strategic and follows the kind of norms, it's harder to I don't want to say control because it's not really control, but it's harder to play games with somebody like that when you know that there's a mission that they're going for and they get.
No, it's control. It really is control. Biden controlled the hell out of Trump. We know that.
No.
We know that. If this is the leader of the free world, Trump was the leader of no one, but the leader of the free world is basically telling you that his intelligence apparatus doesn't know what it's talking about. Come on.
But I don't call it control because when Trump was great at this kind of chaos theory, right? Where you kind of like throw everything up in the wall and you just threaten people or you use kind of force and Putin a person like Putin can read that. You don't just say they understand where that comes from because they use it to a certain point. But when you're very strategic and you're very kind of focused on a goal, which when you have an agenda, that's what you do. It's harder to just throw something and hope somebody goes left when they're going to go right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's more of like if you believe in the chaos theory, then you can build your own chaos and create somebody else to just go off the normal track. And Biden just won't go off the normal track.
I understand that. I also believe that our media is very complacent when it came to Trump. They went out of their way to lead with whatever fucking thing came out of his mouth. Yeah. Where Biden is like, business as usual. There is no issue here. It's like, this is what we're going to do. This weekend, he gave away $50 million in student loan debt. Right, because these are the people that Trump fucked, that people like Trump's high, Trump University and all these other guys fucked over. And there's no Betsy Davis to stop them from getting their money back. These guys fuck people over. They should not be getting paid any money, for not giving out actual training. And the banks are holding the bag for that, but maybe next time make sure these people are accredited before you lend any money to them. Right. And I don't see this as a bailout issue. They lost the money. Period. That's it. Sorry. Think twice. This is all about scams, and scams have to stop. Because at the end of the day, the people who are getting hurt are not the people who are not getting those jobs, but you, sir, you, Mr. Taxpayer. You're the one that's going to end up footing the bill finally in the end of this.
Right.
Okay. So let's take a break from politics for a minute. Let's go to my T-shirts. So I got this T-shirt. Pretty awesome. I got it at this place called T-Villain, tvillain.com, and they do like specific T-shirts every day, every week. I love T-shirts. I have a hell of a lot of them. Some of them I got at $6 shirts. Some of them I've gotten in other places. But T-Villain is really fantastic. And they are.
And you can order them, or they're like already pre-made, and you say, "Oh, I want Indiana Jones," and they'll make something for you. I guess.
No. This is crazy. What are you crazy?
I don't know.
Yeah, you see T-Villain store.
Look at this.
Yeah. So they have different view options. So they do this stuff. Oh, this is exclusive Universal Monster Mash.
There you go.
It's a baseball shirt like the one I got. And they have all kinds of cool shit. And then I survived Ghostface. I survived 1996. That's pretty cool. And then they got this one, which is King Kong versus Godzilla versus Mecha Godzilla. Pretty fucking cool.
That is a pretty cool shirt.
That's the Raglan. It's a little bit more than the other thing. I think it was $20. But if you could see, Sin Store, they have a Sin Store, and they have all these other crazy shirts here. Like, and they're all horror, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Japanese poster.
Right.
This crazy fire lady thing, which is pretty cool. Leo. It's a Leo. And I survived Space Camp, Jason X.
Jason X, great movie.
Then, if you like that kind of horror shit, and most of all, I long for death. Oh my God! All right, get a Dickie shirt for Mechanics. If you like that kind of stuff, rock and roll, baby. And the other place I like is a place called T Fury.
Now, how did you find these? Did you just happen to be online and check this place out? Like, how do you find these places?
Well, I saw people with T-shirts. Like, hey, where'd you get this cool T-shirt? And they told me, and I started going to these places, and they got all these cool shirts. Now, the thing is about, it's pretty cute. The thing is about these shirts. Stay over there. See, see what I'm saying? they're mashup shirts, and I have all kinds of great. They have all kinds of great mashup shirts and. Baby tees and women's tanks and stuff, but T Fury is pretty cool. I get my Godzilla shirts here. I get my. There's another place that I go to called T Public.
T-shirts was big at one point. Everybody tried to do T-shirts. Remember that? Like maybe like 20 years ago, everybody was like trying to print T-shirts and come up with ideas and everything, and then kind of disappeared. But I guess it's back now.
No, it's been around for a while. This is kind of where I live, man. I live here. You can see these fields of cats. Equal rights for others does not mean less rights for you. It's not pie. Tatooine T-shirt. Vert the Furk is a really good one. Goonies are good enough. Never say die. It's got the Goonies flag, and great little mashups and
social distancing world champions. You saw that one?
Yep, yeah.
With Bigfoot.
Yeah, it's all good, man. It's all good. And you want to go like, let's say, I don't know, King Kong Escapes. Will they have a King Kong Escapes shirt? Let's see for the real geeks. What? Oh, there's tons of Kong shirts here, man. Look at that. Oh, look at this one.
That was pretty cool.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So I go to these places to get my shirts. I think this one's next. I have to get this one next.
It's only $20.
Huh?
Only $20. That wasn't bad at all.
$20. They go on sale every once in a while. So look at that. Sumo Godzilla stuff. Yeah, man. Kong's Gym. So you get it. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen.
This is like I said, I had friends who were trying to get into it like 20 years ago, like in college kind of days, and they thought, oh, we're gonna make money, and then they went nowhere. But like I guess these companies now with the age of the internet makes it a lot more easier because you can just pop something on a website and have people come to you.
Well, I think the main thing is that oh man, there's a King Kong Escape shirts. Oh my God, this is a fantastic King Kong Escape shirts. It's beautiful. Holy shit! I'm gonna show it to you. I show it to you.
And how much is it?
$20. Look at it. Oh, it's beautiful. Come on. Come on.
You got it. You got to get that. $20. You can't go wrong with that. V-neck, you're a V-neck guy?
Ringer. Boom!
Boom.
Black ringer shirt. Pow! Look at that. Oh, go with the red and white. Boom!
The black. I think it's the black.
You like the black one? You like it? It's cool. V-neck shirt, class 0. Tri-band extra soft shirt. Man, who cares? Okay.
Too soft.
You get it. You get it. I'm going to get this shirt. $29 though. Fuck that. We'll wait until they have a sale. They have sales for $13. You get $7 off, and shipping's always like $3. So
it's not bad.
It's not bad. But I'll get the ringer one. The black ringer. So that's fun. So yeah, this is where I get my shirts. These are limited. The T-Villain ones are limited edition. But they do some great stuff. This is like I like the fact that it's kind of like a postcard
and a mashup of all. Yeah, Temple of Doom.
Yeah, we're going to talk about Temple of Doom as being maybe the best Indiana Jones movie because it is the most Indiana Jones movie. Don't get
really?
Much
look at him. He went out on a limb, folks. He's going there.
I went out there.
Screw the Raiders of the Lost Ark people.
No, Raiders of the Lost Ark started it. It's Raiders is great.
Screw the Last Crusade people. He's basically telling you right now.
Last Crusade gets better as you get older.
Yes, I can see that.
But Temple of Doom is just fucking great. Just hands down, maybe the best.
Because it has all elements of Indiana Jones. Is that
my God, it's ridiculous. It's like everything that could happen happens. Bugs in the he grabs his hat, short round.
You told me to stand right here. I stand right here. Remember that part? I tried to do my short round, but it didn't work out. I couldn't hit the high.
That was it. You were perfect. So the thing is about Indiana Jones is that they're making a new one, and Indy is 100. So there'll be no stunts. None.
With Shia LaBeouf in it? Is he in it?
No Shia LaBeouf.
Who's in Indiana Jones now? Who's he handing off the hat off to? Do we know?
I don't know.
No,
it's
because it was River Phoenix back in the day. Remember that back?
Yeah, well, man.
That didn't work out for
I watched the thing where Spielberg basically said that John Williams saved that sequence because it was too long, and the music was the only thing that helped it. He felt that the entire sequence at the beginning of the Last Crusade, this belongs in the museum. That whole thing. was too long, and that circus sideshow thing. But
Yeah,
if
yeah,
you haven't
right.
seen, if you haven't seen The Last Crusade, see it because it actually is a pretty fun movie. I had issues with it because I'm a jerk, I guess. I felt that it was boring, but it's what it is. So
I mean, they went in and found the cup of Christ and he drank from it. I mean, what else do you want from this movie?
the cup, yes, the cup of a
He
carpet.
reconnected with Sean Connery. I mean, come on.
They were like 5 years apart in age.
It's true. Yeah. You
What?
prefer when he went to South America to look for aliens? Is that what you preferred?
Did I say that?
You kind of
What's
implied.
my mouth? The best part of that movie were the ants, which no one seemed to
Yes.
like, and the scene where they go into the warehouse where the Ark is in to get
Yes, that's
the
right.
crystal skull, right? And the Ark comes out of a freaking thing, and it's on the floor, and they like drive right by it. It's funny.
All right. So it wasn't the whole bathtub thing.
Well, the what?
No, when he blew up, when they blew up the time bomb, was the bathtub he went in or the
Yeah,
refrigerator?
that was
Which
in that one.
Yeah. Yeah, he survived. Hey, they can't all be hits.
I here's the thing about that. It's like when people say that's impossible, and you say to yourself, it's a movie.
Right. You
I
gotta
didn't
suspend
suspend
reality.
disbelief. I didn't suspend my disbelief on that one. I couldn't. Yeah, and yet somehow Bugs Bunny's okay. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right. Right. LeBron James playing with Bugs Bunny in a
but
basketball
or
game.
slasher films. Slasher films are completely. It's like it's a movie.
They're
Right?
designed to be fake. We know that.
Right. So, I don't believe it. He got into the refrigerator and it blew up and he was okay. It's like, yeah, because
But I think in that case it's because Indiana Jones holds a special place in people's hearts because of like. So when you kind of jump the shark to that extreme, I think it just throws people out. I understand what you're saying, but Raiders of the Lost Ark, like, hit a nerve. You know what I'm saying?
Didn't he see God in the first movie? Just ask.
Well, if you close your eyes, you didn't.
Close
So
your
that's
eyes.
a good.
You didn't see God, but God was there. So
Right. Good times.
yeah. So it's that it's that kind of a thing. I was like, what the fuck? I didn't have an issue with it. I thought the movie overall had a problem, but you can't really mix Indiana Jones with E.T. I don't know. I don't know. But there've been more fantastic stuff that we've seen in theater in movies, and I guess that we give things. I guess if it's animated, we give it a better leeway, or if it has a dinosaur in it, it's okay. I make a joke to people that I hang out with, and it's like, oh, we're going to movies? Does it have a dinosaur or a robot in it? Right. No? Tom Cruise running in it? No running, Tom Cruise?
Indiana Jones was more cerebral, though. Like when Raiders of the Lost Ark came out, it was more kind of like a thinking man's, action adventure thing.
What?
Buddy, he was running around. He was
oh,
think about it. Think about it. Think about Raiders of the Lost Ark at the time,
okay.
what was out there at
Let's
the time.
Think about Raiders of the Lost Ark in 1981 when it came out.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
No, 1982.
Right.
It's 50 years old. Is it 50 years old today? I think it's 45 or something. It's 40 years old.
Today. It came out today.
It came out this year. It came out. This is the anniversary. It's
Gotcha.
came out in 82. No, this is 2000, and it came out in 81. So it's whatever amount of years that is. But that was
Right.
They just put out a special edition of all the movies because I guess want to own them for some reason. So before we do that, I want to talk about something really interesting.
Right.
Talk about something really interesting, just for a minute, before we go back to Indiana Jones, because it's in the same vein. George Lucas, Star Wars. So
Right.
Star Wars comes out in 1977. I see it when I'm 11 years old. Go to the theater. 10 years old. Go to the theater. See it. Come home. Comes out in 77. I see it in 78. I see it when I'm 11. I go home and I'm like, hey, just saw Star Wars. People are like, yeah, you saw that? Finally? What the fuck? 3 years later, before Empire Strikes Back comes out, Star Wars is playing in a church basement.
Yeah.
And this is before VHS, any of that shit.
In Sunset? In Sunset?
It's Sunset Park on 34th, on 40th Street, and the church on
And
40th
4th
Street.
Avenue?
Yeah.
That thing is being taken down, by the way. If it's the same church I'm thinking about, like
Well, Saint
one
Sacred
church-
Heart or Saint John's or whatever it is.
there's one. I'm not sure if it's the same one, but there's one that's being taken down or be refurbished or something.
4th Avenue.
Go ahead.
I gotta look it up. No, but seriously, I saw it in that church's basement, and it was like you couldn't see it in the movie on TV
How
yet.
did they get it? How did they get it? If they get
Because
it in
they
the-
used to,
in the
because the
basement?
churches would to make money, you can go to a film distributor and get a movie. Like they'd have next week we're playing Jaws, and you pay $4 or whatever, and you'd see this movie. So I saw it in the church basement. I was like, Star Wars, and then and then later on, Empire Strikes Back, which I spent the day seeing. I saw that movie 3 times in theater. I told you that story. Where are you?
Yeah.
Seeing a movie 86th Street. We're coming to get you. Okay.
They're waiting and waiting, and you snuck.
I couldn't
3
tell
times
where I
once.
was because I was gone all day. Like 13 and disappeared off the face of the earth. Because that's what you used to do when you were a kid, folks, in New York.
Right.
Get on a train or a bus and go to the theater for a movie theater for 4 hours. This is what I did. Disappear for a day and then wonder what happened to you. I was out. Oh, okay. You okay? Yeah. What are you?
Right.
So back to Indiana Jones. Yes. So you're right. Thinking Man's, I guess, movie, because what it was based on is all the serials that happened, in the 40s, which was goofy bullshit that people used to love. And I guess you're saying thinking. I don't know why you're saying Thinking Man's.
He was looking for an ark. Think about it. He was looking for the Ark of the Covenant. So now we're talking about biblical things. You have to know a little bit of the Bible. You got to introduce some of that. Like that wasn't going on in Star Wars. They were just blowing stuff up. Yeah, it was still serial, but it was like there was a force, and they were running around with Wookiees and stuff. Come on.
There was a couple different things that were happening that made Indiana Jones so special, and one of them was the screenwriter. The other 2 things was George Lucas and Steven Spielberg. Now, all that being said, what they wanted to do is something that no one else has done. So they took these ideas they had, and they were like, what would be the MacGuffin? The MacGuffin is the thing that this guy chases. It's like the Maltese Falcon. In every movie, there's a movie like this. There's like a thing, a code, a card, some kind of thing that people chase to.
Like Pulp Fiction. Pulp Fiction was big on that. What were they chasing that whole movie? The briefcase. What was in the briefcase in Pulp Fiction?
In Pulp Fiction, who knows? But that was the MacGuffin, right?
Right.
So the MacGuffin is the thing they chase around. In Indiana Jones, they had a pretty interesting set of MacGuffins. They had the idol in the beginning, and then they had the thing, and then the third movie, the thing they were chasing was the stones, right?
Right.
The Shankara stones. So this idea of Thinking Man's, I guess you have something, but it's all the same. It's all the same structure. It's hero, girl, love interest, bad guy, MacGuffin.
Right. The Nazis. Anytime you throw the Nazis as bad guys.
No Nazis in the second movie. And Steven
and Raiders of the Lost Ark I'm talking about.
Yeah, Steven Spielberg said he will never make a movie with jokey Nazis ever again. After making the movie with not so jokey Nazis in
Schindler's List. Yeah, I can see it. I can see why you could, when you start doing a project like Schindler's List and you start breaking down everything, like really looking at it, it's like you say to yourself, "Do I want to do this again?" I can see that.
Fuck.
Good movie. Good movie. Schindler's List. By the way.
The music is beautiful because John Williams can do no wrong. So yeah.
But I had this argument once. John Williams. Or that guy who did, all these Batman Marvel movies, Hans Blitzer, whatever his name is, Hans whatever.
Hans Blitzer.
I don't even want to. Because
I know who you're talking about.
The millennials bring in Hans, and I'm like, come on, John Williams, man.
Hans Zimmer.
I know I'm dating myself at that point, but come on.
Let's
think about what this guy's done.
Right. So, you want to talk about John Williams versus Hans Zimmer? Hans Zimmer is a interesting dude.
I'm not saying he's not.
No, but didn't say he wasn't. He as far as themes are concerned, he's very interesting because he does bring a very specific idea of what a theme is. into movie, man. And movies are basically, the interpretation of themes in different moods throughout the film, right?
Right.
Well, John Williams has, hey, this is the overall arching theme. Hey, this is the so-and-so's theme. Hey, this is the theme for so-and-so. And he has these things, and then he works them together in the movies to make them interesting. Very similar to Michael Giacchino.
Okay.
I'm pronouncing his name correctly. But there is something to the fact that Zimmer does these themes, and he just kind of makes different versions of these themes for different sections. So if you can look at the Superman movie, for example. Man of Steel has a specific theme that then it gets interpolated throughout the film. Gladiator as well has a specific theme that gets interpolated.
Yes.
Actually, there's two themes in Gladiators. Now that being Gladiator, not Gladiators, two themes in Gladiator. That being said, apples and oranges, I don't know if you can really say one's better than the other. I mean, I will say that I like both of them in different things, and some of them are more interesting than others. I could say the Dark Knight movies have interesting themes, but not all of that was originally his. It was like some of it he worked with some other people in it. But I like movie music, and particularly I like John Williams a lot. I think Giacchino has a lot of shit happening. I think that Hans Zimmer is really good too, but I don't.
I do like. I'm not knocking. I'm just saying that when it comes to movies, iconic. Right now, maybe Hans hasn't hit that iconic movie yet, but like when you think about what John Williams has done, those songs will resonate 20, 30, 50 years from now. You know what I'm trying to say? I don't know the score from Superman is going to resonate, even though I like Superman and I like his score. You understand what I'm trying to say? So it's just kind of like what hits a pulse at certain times, and I think, and it could be that, and it could be the movies, and it just happened that that those movies were iconic, like E.T. and Raiders of the Lost Ark and those type of things. So because of that, you look at them differently. But when Hans hits that iconic movie that kind of like controls pop culture, like these movies have, maybe that's what I'm looking at. I don't think he's hit that level, and it could be just the movie. It could be not, maybe he's great, just the movie hasn't hit that level. You know what I'm saying?
All right, I'm gonna play a score that I think Hans Zimmer.
Not Blitzen, not Hans Blitzen.
Not Hans Blitzen. Hans Zimmer's score for a movie that I think once I play it, you're going to be like, oh yeah, that's pretty cool. Once I get to it, because there we go. Let me see.
A recent movie?
Yeah, there's going to be. Yeah,
I get it, but I'm not saying
cool.
that's not good.
That's Wonder Woman's theme. It's badass.
It is.
But we can look at something like maybe John Williams.
I mean, you didn't even have to play that song, and I already knew that the song.
But it's a cool theme. I mean,
right.
Boop. There.
20th Century Fox.
Not by John Williams, but.
Vision of reality.
Shut it!
My Verilux progressive lenses provide seamless transitions from.
That's Imperial Probe. Hold on.
Is that what you're going with? The first Star Wars?
No, I'm actually going with. I'm looking for one particular one. No, everything. By the way, everything on Empire Strikes Back, the soundtrack is freaking fantastic.
All right. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's the movie. Maybe it's the movies hit a certain place in pop culture, and I don't. And Wonder Woman did hit that place, but it hasn't resonated like like an E.T. did, or Raiders of the Lost Ark did. You know what I'm trying to say? Where it was so iconic.
I mean, it is
the character Wonder Woman's iconic, but the movie itself wasn't iconic. If you know what I'm saying.
This is Jurassic Park. This thing is fucking great. I mean, it's
crying.
Every time
I'm
I hear
crying
it,
already.
It's fantastic. There's a couple of things in here that are pretty amazing. Right. And this is not what I'm trying. I can't seem to get this fucking thing up here, which I think is hilarious. There it is.
T-Rex lives.
Yes. Right? Imperial March.
Yes.
This is fantastic. This, when people think of John Williams, they think of this. But he's done so many different things that are just fantastic and wonderful and terrific. I mean, you got me going, man. I'll do.
That's what I do. I like to get those things that get you riled up. But I had this argument with a friend like a year ago about this. And I was just like, he's just so iconic, John Williams. I don't see Hans doing that. But like I said, now thinking about it, and you talking about maybe it's just the movies aren't as iconic.
Well, no,
maybe
the
that's
thing is
why
that
I relate to it.
you were saying that, but I mean, I don't disagree with you. Let me see it. This is Up, right?
Yeah. Great movie.
Yeah. This is the beginning,
Right.
which is really cute, right? And this is the married life, which makes everyone cry because this is the
Yes.
story of them being together.
Which is a great scene, by the way. A great scene.
Fucking
Right.
10 minutes of fucking amazing.
Yeah, it's just it does one of the greatest flashback scenes ever. It's great. I mean, right.
I mean, it's beautiful, right?
Yeah.
And he's done all kinds of stuff with this, and he's amazing. Giancarlo's amazing. I'm sorry, not how he's pronounced his name. But he also did a Star Wars theme. That guy,
Hans or Giancarlo?
Giacchio,
Yeah.
Music. He's done a Star Wars theme for Rogue One. He actually did he did the music for Rogue One in a month. Giacchino.
Right.
No, none of that. Which are going
He did that too?
commercials, man. I hate them. Here it is. That's great.
Yeah.
It sounds
Yeah,
just like John Williams. It's crazy.
And you don't think they told him we want John Williams? And he was
Oh
like,
no, they
I
probably
know exactly
did.
what to
He
do.
probably said,
Yeah.
"Oh yeah, no, I got it." This is a fantastic theme, and he has a theme for the bad guys that's really good too. That's just really great, and it's just the Imperial Suite. Come on, man! It's like he takes all the things from John Williams and just smashes them together and makes this.
I would love to have a conversation with John Williams to see how he came up with these iconic, like when you're sitting there and you're John Williams, like do you sit there and Steven Spielberg comes up to you? Now you got two icons, right? Making this movie. Does John Williams said, "I got this, Steven. I know what I'm doing." You know what I'm trying to say? You just walk
Yeah.
out the door.
I know you want something.
Come back in a couple of days.
Yeah, give me a day or two. I'll come up with something. So,
Right.
And I'm wondering if he plays. I wonder. You know what? I would love to understand how he does it because to me, like, these guys also know like how to. I can't fucking play a piano to save my life, right?
Right.
And I've tried. Oh my god.
It's
Truth comes out, folks. Here comes the truth. Get ready for the truth. Hold on to your seats. Can't play an instrument. You know, all I know is what I know about music from what I learned by being a music head, and I myself have tried to create specific orchestral themes.
It is.
Again, I don't know how to play a piano, so I can all I can do is play with.
Well,
notes.
these days you don't need to have. You could just use synthesizers and all
Yeah.
sorts of stuff.
You've seen. I've done some shit. The music that you will see in the beginning of this is something that I put together from various tones.
Awesome, by the way. Awesome.
Thank you.
Going through the charts. Going through the charts.
Going up the charts. No, but it's in the stratosphere. The idea of to make a certain themes that you can then extrapolate into something has always been a curiosity for me.
Yes.
If maybe I had learn how to play the piano. Not that it's against the law or it's impossible for me to do that now. I am old as fuck, but maybe someday I'll get some piano learnings. But yeah, these things are fun. So yeah, so you were talking about I didn't even play the Raiders music.
Right.
Fantastic. These are all, by the way, most of these are marches. He does for action movies. He does marches, and they fit, and they're cool, and they're interesting, and they're fun. Whereas Giacchino is a little bit more progressive. But there's a lot of people that are work together to make this stuff happen. It's just not one guy composing shit.
Right. I agree.
He has an orchestral guy, and he has another guy that does this, and they all work together to put this shit together. So,
Right. But to be the guy that comes up, just watch the movie for the first time and then come up with the theme. You know what I'm trying to say? Like that takes talent to sit there and say, I think, this is the direction we need to go with. You know what I'm saying? And then Steven Spielberg's like, yeah, whatever you want. You're not gonna tell him no at that point.
Oh, Steven Spielberg can definitely tell you no.
Steven's not saying no.
But
Stevie, I got you, Steve.
Yeah, but with like there's also stuff like there's legacy stuff that's involved in this because Giacchino is also, I know I'm pronouncing his name. I'm gonna look it up.
Giancarlo Stan.
How do you pronounce Michael?
Like this guy was on. I mean, this is an old episode. When I listened to Rogan, like maybe 2 years ago, when he had Baker, the guy who does all the monster movies and stuff like that. When he was on, it was a great 3 hours of listening to Baker talk about how he came up with these monsters and why they did it and how they did it and how he got turned away by Hollywood. It was a great interview if you listen to it.
I'm sorry. Could you repeat everything you just said?
I'm sorry. No. I'm saying it's like it'd be great to have a long form conversation with a guy like Williams because I remember like 2 years ago listening to Rogan and he had Baker on talking about creating monsters and the monster genre and all that.
Yeah.
Rick Baker, yeah. And it was great to hear him just like, just talk about how he came up with these monsters and the werewolf and werewolf and why they created it the way they did. Yeah. Just to hear the inside. Baseball and that type of stuff is really cool because you see his mind working as he's talking about it.
What he's talking about, if you don't know, is Rick Baker, who's retired now supposedly.
Yes.
Who created the special effects and the monsters for such movies as the werewolf movie, American Werewolf in London, he got an Oscar for that. And
great transformation scene in that one.
Transformation scene just for that movie is fantastic, and we're not going to play it now because we don't want to be kicked off.
I don't want to scare the kiddies. We don't want to scare the kids.
I don't know any of this music, folks. So this is. I'm going to play this again.
Composer. Hi there, I'm Michael Giacchino.
Giacchino. His name is Giacchino. And he's a composer, Michael Giacchino.
See?
Jesus, Giacchino. I've been murderizing his name forever. There was a thing I listened to some podcasts, and he was talking with Brad Bird, who basically got him his chance to start making movie music by having him do the music for The Incredibles. And if you haven't heard the music for The Incredibles, it is fantastic.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Giacchino's done the music for for all these Pixar, for a lot of Pixar movies. The Incredibles, Ratatouille, and
which one?
Up, of course. There's another movie they did music for. What was it? Incredibles 2, Ratatouille, Up.
Now, how did he give him the chance? Like, how did this encounter happen? When he's like, all right, I
was working on the movie, on the show Alias, and he was also working on Lost
with Jennifer Garner show, right?
And Brad Bird went up to him and said, you can do music for movies," and he said, "Yes, please. Can I do music for movies? Can I do music for your movies, please?" And he said, "Okay, well, what do you want to do music for?" It's like, "I'm doing a movie named The Incredibles. I think you'd be perfect for it," because Giacchino does a lot of. He's kind of like he can do music all kinds of different ways. You could see the stuff Up and whatever. So he said, and The Incredibles. If you listen to The Incredibles, which I'm not going to play now because we did enough of this, you have your YouTube box at home. The music for The Incredibles is really freaking awesome, and it's specifically typed to a time. And he does that because he loved the music from 60s TV. Like, he was talking about how much he liked the Hawaii Five-O music, which is really big on horns and percussion and stuff, and it's very 60s. As well as the Star Trek music. And if you listen to it, he also did the music for the Star Trek movie. So I know that I'm pushing Giacchino a lot. I'm just making a point of how...
You're trying to get him into that conversation.
I just want him here. That's it. I want to talk to him. Please, Mr. Giacchino, spend 15 minutes with me and I'll just look at you like this.
So Brad Bird heard him on Alias, like heard stuff on Alias. Like, oh, this is pretty cool. Like, and Alias is kind of an Incredibles type of thing. So he said he could fit my movie.
It's a spy show. All right. Well, we talked a lot about shows and music and stuff. Do you want to talk about the shows that we've been watching?
What concoction?
Like Ted Lasso. Considering the Cup was the Euro Cup was this weekend or whatever the hell it was.
Right. What concoction is that, by the way, that you
This
drinking?
is seltzer and
Lemon.
a couple of
Lemon?
It's seltzer and and orange slices.
Ah, look at you.
It's good for the throat. Yeah. So
So does it make you appreciate more of like the World Cup soccer matches now that you've seen Ted Lasso?
I watched none of the World. I watched none of the. Was it the Euro
Whatever
Cup?
it is,
Was it?
Euro Cup, whatever it
It's
is.
the Euro Cup, right? They were gonna. They're basically playing for where the World Cup would happen, and it's
Yeah.
coming to Italy. And you know what? All right.
Congratulations.
I know that. Well, the best thing about the World Cup, the Euro Cup this year, is how racist England was being.
So I saw that story.
All right, enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're hooligans, man. They really they're very passionate, and when you get passionate, maybe the N word will come out every once in a while.
Right. You say things that you don't want necessarily say.
But you finished Ted Lasso. 2
Yes.
weeks from now, it's going to premiere season
Right.
2, which I'm very excited for. What'd you think?
I mean, nothing changed from the conversation we had at the midpoint. It's just a very, like I said, it's not a show. I don't care about the soccer in it. I don't care about who wins or loses. I just want to follow somebody who has. Yeah, I just want to. I don't think this shows. Skip over to Lasso a second. We don't have good character shows anymore where you're following good characters. You know what I'm trying to say? Because everything is so broad with movies and toys that we want to make, and McDonald's gets involved. So it's all about these huge things. This is about a guy, and you're following this guy's journey, and you're following these soccer players, and they all have the individual stories, and I enjoy that because you don't see that very often in today's TV shows, in today's movie world either. So it's refreshing to see that. And it's funny because I've mentioned it to people who are soccer fans at work and stuff, who really like soccer, and they basically tell me the same thing. All these different kind of people from different backgrounds and stuff all seem to like it. So it's hitting a chord with a lot of different people, not just soccer people or people who like shows from London or whatever. It's hitting a lot of different chords. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
I find interesting. So
Well, I'm glad that you find it interesting. Is there a favorite character that you have on the show?
you're gonna laugh, but I find I'm blanking on her name, the posh girl, the Kim Kardashian type of that world.
Oh yeah, Keely.
And the reason why is because
She's hot, folks.
well, but forget about that for a second.
Okay, I'm forgetting.
She doesn't. Let's be honest. A character like that shouldn't really be in a TV show, because what do they do? But they found something, a niche for this person. I'm sure that they found something where she can connect and keep going in the show, when it should have just been a one-off where she was sleeping with one of the soccer players and you move on.
I gotta tell you that I disagree with what you're saying, only because
Really?
I kind of feel that you're right. First of all, let me give you kudos.
In most shows, they would have just had her as a love interest who wouldn't do it.
Forget most shows. This is not most show. This is Ted Lasso.
Right.
On Ted Lasso, on this show, everyone has weight.
Right.
Every single person has weight.
And they grow, by the way. They don't sit there. They grow throughout these 10 episodes.
From the Mexican kid, the Mexican soccer guy.
Right.
Football is life.
Soccer.
Jamie, of course. I think Keely has weight. Everyone has weight. They have weight. They're important to the story and to themselves.
Right.
My favorite character, and I think that I understand what you're saying. I think that most places would treat that character as a secondary
Right.
thing.
That's
whatever.
my point. Right.
But Keely is in a love triangle. Keely's involved with different people. I'm not giving anything away, folks. Things have been on for a year. Come on, please.
Right.
Please.
I'm just late to the game, right?
Keely, yeah, really. Keely has a very interesting situation happening, and she brings something to Ted Lasso that other people bring, but just different. And
she brings stuff out of these other characters. You see what I'm trying to say? Like, it's not just her dynamic. She's bringing stuff. Right. She's bringing a feel, and she's bringing a certain outlook to these characters that you wouldn't see if it wasn't for her.
Roy Kent, for example. There's a lot of stuff that all these guys bring something to the show, and they bring something to Ted Lasso, and they bring something to the story, and Ted Lasso is about all of them. Yes, it's the title character is Ted, and we follow Ted's story throughout, but everyone else around Ted is just as important. And it's and you want to know what happens. What's going to happen with Keeley? What's going to happen with Roy Kent? What's going to happen with Judge, Coach Beard, who's been a bachelor forever, and something might be different now. What's going to happen to everybody at the bar who watches the these football the football intensely and are a gigantic fan of Richmond. The young lady who's actually pretty good and plays and plays football, kicks around,
right?
Yeah, and spend some time with Ted's kid, Ted's Ted's wife, all these things. The owner of the program,
the owner, yeah.
All
these
good story
people are
interesting, and they're interesting, and how they're kind of like develop and what's going to happen next, and you want to know what happens next, and that's what makes a good show. Not only that, how incredibly freaking positive this show is. It makes you feel kind of in a little way, it's a little weird way, kind of like Cobra Kai. If you haven't watched Cobra Kai,
Cobra Kai
is like this, man.
You went there. Right.
I like it. So I'm glad that you finished Ted Lasso. Can't wait for the show to start. It starts again in 2 weeks. Looking forward to that.
Speaking of Cobra Kai and action and destruction, what about Black Widow? What
about Black Widow? You see it yet?
I saw it. Yes.
What do you think?
What did you think?
You saw with the kids?
I have to. My kid was in and out of it. She did see it. Yeah.
Oh, you paid $30 and you watched it at home.
Yeah.
And like
everybody's sitting down and watching this together.
$3.
Family fun night.
Señor Disney, 30 pesos.
Exactly.
Oh well, I'm gonna do the thing that I've been doing. I haven't seen FF9 yet. As you know, #family. But I have to use #family for Black Widow as well. No spoilers, kids. No spoilers. I'm gonna tell you though, it's interesting. It was an entertaining Marvel movie, more entertaining than the last movie that didn't have everybody in it, which was I think Captain Marvel.
Yeah,
that was the last.
I could have done without.
That was I found Black Widow to be much more entertaining. I found the passing of the torch to be interesting.
Right.
I find that the integration between the Disney movies and the Disney TV shows to be interesting, or the Marvel TV shows to be interesting. I can only imagine what's going to happen with Loki later tomorrow, when the last episode comes out. No spoilers, although we will fucking spoil the fuck out of Loki in a minute. If you haven't seen Loki, go fuck yourself, because this shit's going to be fucking raw. So I have to say, and I'm not going to get into Loki in a minute. I just really enjoyed it. I liked all that stuff. I liked the fact that there was this, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I see
building up. Like, they kept explaining shit, and then this guy, we had the Taskmaster story was interesting, and her sister's story was interesting. Her sister's story, and her mother's story was interesting, and Red Guardian was interesting. You know what I mean? And Red and Crimson Dynamo was interesting.
Right. Crimson
Dynamo was interesting. And the fact that they kept dropping stuff like that throughout the movie, and different little pieces of Marvel idioms and onions and stuff, and whatever we call it. Onions, they call it onions. What do they call that?
Yeah, the
Easter eggs. Little Easter eggs they kept dropping over, and you were like, oh yeah, which was cool. I liked all of that, and I'm looking forward to what's going to happen next, which is sad because I really like Scarlett Johansson a lot, and I know she's dead. But she is, if you were to think about it from the point of view of Marvel and the fact that, she's entering her 40s.
Right.
And they have to do something, I guess. I don't know.
She could be the older statesman teaching the youngins how to fight. And
yeah, well, they killed her off, so that's not going to happen.
Right.
Why not? I mean, I don't know. We're entering the
you never know
universe now, right? We're moving past when we pass the where the bands that hold us are being removed, and
Right.
we're slipping the surly
The Eternals are coming
gods
into
of Earth.
play.
and entering something else now. So we'll see. As you know, I mean, they really can't do any wrong at this point.
Yeah, you're right.
They're kind of like they have a formula and they're sticking to it. I mean,
Yeah.
someone's
And
gonna
they-
sooner or later they're gonna whiff. They did with the show they had on ABC for 45 minutes. They really
Which
fucked
one?
that up. The Marvel wait, Jack
With the
Kirby creation.
the one that's on Channel 7, that one?
Yeah, ABC
ABC, yeah.
creations. Jack Kirby Marvel creations.
I was gonna say Agent Carter, but it wasn't Agent Carter.
Best combo creations came here. Black Bolt was in it. X-Men,
Wow.
Incredible Hulk. These are all the things Jack Kirby did. Mighty Thor, Black Panther, Kamandi, Fantastic Four, Avengers, New Gods, Fantastic Four, some more. That's it. Come on. That's all you got? It's
Jumanji? Is that what you said?
Jack Kirby. Okay, hold on. Journey into Mystery. He did romance novels, Marvel Comics. Come on. Created the Eternals. Cruiser.
That have to when you brought all those people together, right? That was show you talking about? I forgot the name of it.
He just did a lot of stuff, and I don't remember the damn. I can't because I can't think of it. But he created something that it bombed on. It bombed on TV. It just didn't work. But Kirby's a mastermind, and Marvel really owes him a lot. Inhumans.
Inhumans.
Yeah.
Oh, Inhumans. Yes.
Black Bolt from the Inhumans. Yeah.
And when
Blackgar Boltagon. That's his real name. That's his name that they don't use on television. But that's great. I mean, you know, he created this stuff, and they can do no wrong. Hopefully, they won't whiff next time on something. But I don't know. What's the Eternals? How are they going to start running out of Hollywood actors soon? It's like
because now they all want to do Marvel movies. Now.
I'm waiting for. I mean, having the only person they don't have on is Brad Pitt, or you know,
Right.
it's funny, but it's not funny. Like they're really running out of actors here.
Right. And they all want to do it. They all want to be a part of it now because
It's
such a
fun.
machine now.
I want to be part of it. Shit. Did you see what happened with that Thanos guy? So it's
Speaking of Thanos was did you see that in the Loki movie where Thanos had a little
The helicopter?
Yeah.
Yeah,
What's up with that?
it's goofy. Well, because fucking comics are fucking goofy. When we,
He's grounded. Get it?
first of all, yeah, he grounded it. First of all, it's like keep forgetting where this shit came. This seriousness of comics didn't really start happening. The seriousness, the gravitas, didn't really start happening until the '80s. And Thanos is the Mad Titan. Until it depends on who drives him. You know, like Jim Starlin. He was the guy that kind of like created a lot of these things. I don't know if he created Thanos. I don't know if it was Jack Kirby, but he you know, I think he had Thanos on. I think that Jim Starlin had him flying around on discs. You know,
Right.
he had him standing on these discs that I'm flying around on, because he's the Mad Titan or whatever. But he came from a society, a super advanced society that lived on Titan, and.
Right.
I know the guy, and you know he's like hung out back in college. Thanos and I used to used to drink.
Right.
You know, he dated a girl for a little while, and it was weird, but you know, we dated the same girl, and it was weird, but it was good. No, I don't fucking know, but back then, you know, it's like every once in a while somebody would write him, and they'd say, "Well, we need to get Thanos from point A to point B. How are we going to do this? Put him in a helicopter." So Thanos had a Thanos helicopter.
Right.
If we are going to talk about Loki, let's talk about the last episode of Loki, which was called Journey to Mystery, and it was fucking fantastic. I can't get enough of the show. I really can't. It's just so much fun. Speaking
So
of
why are they only making 6 episodes of these? Because they're so expensive? Is that why? Because they could literally expand this Loki thing for another 2-3 episodes, and people would
probably because
would love it. Yeah, I'm assuming it's.
And I think they're right to do the stories they need to do. Like when you're contracted. So I think what Disney and what Marvel's doing, the Marvel MCU is doing, is we're going to do a story that bridges X and helps us kind of pull strings together of the movies, right?
Right.
So WandaVision, Captain America and the Winter, Falcon and the Winter Soldier / Captain America and the Winter Soldier. Loki, where we kind of like bridge these gaps and understand what's going to happen next, and maybe be kind of some kind of preamble or front to the next steps. Right. Because What If is doing that too. What If is an extension of the multiverse, and someone who's going to travel through these stories. I think it's supposed to be Doctor Strange. We will see. I don't know. I don't know anything about it. They haven't sent me the show to watch yet, folks.
Fine.
I don't have the code to check it out.
Up, down, left, right, BA, select, start. You don't have that code.
And then you jump over. It. Go to the new world. But that's the thing. We'll see what happens. I'm looking forward to. Hey, listen, just keep putting shit in front of me. I don't give a fuck. I'll keep watching it. I got nothing else happening. This coronavirus ain't dying anytime soon. So it's great thing about it ain't, because the Delta variant is fucked up. What's really great about these shows is that they're dropping all these little nuggets. In Journey into Mystery, you saw the Thanos copter, which I have to watch again because I don't fucking remember this happening at all. I was too busy. I'm half asleep watching this stuff at 4 a.m. anyway. But what was great was the Thor frog.
Yes.
You see the Thor frog in the bottle, and he's jumping trying to get to Mjolnir?
Yeah.
That was awesome.
And you saw his hammer when they went down. You saw that part? When they went to the sub place
he needs his hammer because he's the Thor frog.
Right.
Frog. All the kid Loki, alligator Loki, old man Loki in the classic costume, with him sitting down and throwing his freaking cape everywhere was fantastic. Black Loki or Bloki. I don't know. President Loki. All those other Lokis that showed up, they had a big fight. That was cool.
Right.
So there's a lot of
a warm side of Loki now. Feelings are coming out and very emotional aspect of it. So, something for everybody at this point.
We'll see what happens. Maybe we'll meet Kang next episode.
You think so?
No, I don't think so. I think we're gonna meet what's her name.
What's her name?
Chick from the other one. The person who runs the thing, the main judge.
Oh, the main judge, right?
Yeah.
Not Judge Dredd. That's a whole different movie.
Different movie. Yeah. Who knows? Disney might buy them next.
Yeah, exactly.
I saw the trailer for Venom again. Veil of there would be carnage, and I gotta tell you, that looks like a piece of shit. I'm not very excited about this film.
It does. I agree with
garbage.
you. I've seen it a couple of times, and I'm trying to get myself pumped, and I don't see anything that really catches me. I'm like, I gotta see
the first Venom movie?
I did, yeah.
What'd you think?
Exactly. Me away. Yeah.
They had nothing to do with any of the Venom stuff. It's like, I'm from outer space.
Right.
You are? Really?
Right.
Because there's no connection to Spider-Man. And they're like keeping Spider-Man away from these guys, which is right. Don't put Spider-Man in any of these fucking shitty movies. Right. But I think that's what Sony. First of all, I think this is all that Sony's got right now, right?
Yeah.
If Apple was smart, and I thought we talked about this before, they'd buy somebody. They'd buy fucking Amazon has bought MGM, so now they have a couple different MGM products. But Apple should buy Warner Brothers. Maybe Apple should buy Sony. I don't know.
Right.
But I think that these guys are running out of space. Today on the internet, Ryan Reynolds dropped this reaction trailer for Free Guy with Deadpool and Korg. Have you seen this?
No, I have not seen this. But Ryan Reynolds is great when it comes to these type of little
It's-
vignettes and things that he
I'll
throws
send
in.
you the link. It is
Yeah.
awesome because it's Ryan Reynolds for 3 minutes looking at the Free Guy trailer as Deadpool with Korg, who's also playing Taika Waititi, who's in the movie as well, and they're talking about their roles and stuff. It's really really funny.
Right.
The guy wins the internet every time. He's just fantastic.
Yeah, he every time he does something, it just
It's just fun.
it becomes.
So
a
I'm
topic
looking forward
to
to
talk
Free
about.
Guy. I will see Free Guy in the theater with my mask on, just like I saw Black Widow. It's not streaming, so because it needs to make money. But we'll see what
Right.
happens. Sorry, we did a whole thing about music, which is very interesting.
Yeah,
We
very
talked
interesting.
about Free Guy. We talked about Loki. We talked about Black Widow. We talked about. You like
Lasso.
Luca? I haven't seen Luca yet. You like Luca?
I did. Like I said, it didn't blow me away, but it was a good. I wasn't upset after watching it. You know what I'm just saying? When you watch a movie, and you're like, I wasted 2 hours on that. And I didn't feel that way. I thought it was interesting. Would I watch it again? Probably not. But I enjoyed it for what it,
Yeah, you know,
Because you have a good Sunday afternoon, nothing going on.
Do gay fishes? The girl getting between the gay fish kids.
Right.
Fish
Is that what you got out of it? Is that what you got out of it?
That's what everybody's saying it's about. Tell me about your fish name. Then a girl gets involved. I don't know.
Interesting.
Listen, I haven't seen Luca because I've been
What part of-
busy.
What part of the dark web did you see that from? That comments from.
I listen. I'm just telling you what happened, and what happened is a lot of people are saying. I think Vice. I'm sorry, Vice might have been dropping something about. Oh, maybe it was Vox. Hold on a second. Let's look it up on the interwebs, folks. Call Me by Your Luca.
It just wasn't. It was a simple movie is what it was. You know, it
Is
had
Luca
some themes,
just
but it was
Pixar's version of Call Me by Your Name? Pixar Luca addresses Call Me by Your Name. Pixar directly responds to Call Me by Your Name things. Well, first of all, Timothy Chalamet is in fucking Luca. Is he in Luca? What? Oh, that's. I'm sorry. That's Calling Me by Your Name. I'm sorry. Is
blow me
Luca
up
an,
to death with that.
an LGBT movie? How similar is it to Call Me by Your Name? So there is a lot. I don't know about the dark web, but there's a lot of shit happening.
I mean, it was a nice, simple movie. There was nothing mind blowing about it. There were no great scenes. It was just a simple movie that if you want to watch, you're like, yeah, it's a good Sunday movie. You know, when it's raining outside, you watch it, you won't feel disappointed. That's just.
I used to watch Jerry Lewis movies. Giancarlo Ginotti, Jack Glazer, Timmy Tremblay, Jacob Tremblay, Emma Berman, Maya Rudolph, John Ratzenberger, of course, Jim Gaffigan.
Yeah, Maya Rudolph lives in it, right? I did see
Plays
that
an
name.
Italian in this movie. And Peter Son. Okay. So there's a couple of different people in this Luca movie. Gino Giamatti. All right.
Paul Giamatti's in it.
No.
That's what he said.
Paul
Okay,
Giamatti's
he is
the best,
right.
greatest of all time. He's the greatest of all time actor. I know that you don't watch Rick and Morty, but you should be watching it because it was fucking epic. Rick and Morty cracks me the fuck up every day. All right. So let's talk COVID.
Uh-oh. You've been saving this up for the whole episode. Let it all out. Delta variant is running.
Delta variant is running rampant all over the United States. In Maryland last month, the only people that died because they weren't vaccinated. Tennessee fired their head of immunology vaccination this week. Today, they fired him. Because, Donald Trump knows what he's talking about. And it's really ridiculous. It's like these guys don't... This is very scary stuff, folks. You have people who are in trouble here. You need to start talking. And Biden called them out. Biden called out the conservatives and their anti-vaccination thing. And Fox News is talking about, like, people are going door to door to vaccinate people, or at least tell them about vaccinations. And Fox News is saying, they're gonna knock on your door and jab you. They're not gonna do that. But I don't get it. Like, I don't get the fear, man, of getting vaccinated. What the fuck is up, man? I mean, at this point, stay away from Johnson & Johnson. But everything else.
Well, I read this thing. I forgot where I read it, where they said that the family, the way we have constructed our family over the last 20, 30 years where basically like, it's mom, dad, the kids, and like the grandparents don't live with you anymore in theory because they put it like into a home or some kind of like old, family shelter kind of thing. They said if the grandparents were still living with you, there's no way we would have any issues when it comes to like vaccinating, because the grandparents would be like, yeah, of course you're vaccinating everybody, like, because they've seen the horrors of not being vaccinated living 100 years ago, and now they're sitting there like looking at you like you don't want to get vaccinated. There's no way you won't get it. Just an interesting article to hear how the family has kind of fractured in America in many respects, how we're not kind of connected as we used to be. And because of that, the stories and the old country, if you want to look at it, and the problems of it aren't kind of relating back to us anymore. So we're not seeing horrors, or we're not hearing these kind of stories anymore. So we kind of think it doesn't affect us, it doesn't apply to us. So it was just an interesting article. If I find it again, I'll send this to you, because it was
send it to me. I completely see that. I mean, I kind of feel as if somehow along the lines we have lost an understanding of what vaccinations are, and we've lost like kind of like that interest.
And this person's not just talking about vaccination, just about in general, just kind of we've lost kind of like the history of our own families. What I'm trying to say, and what people have gone through. So because of that, something like COVID, goes right past people when you don't know that grandma was like surviving polio. You know what I'm trying to say? Back in
we have people in our family I have people in my extended family that had fucking polio.
Right.
But polio was still a real thing in the 50s.
Right.
People still were getting it, and vaccinations were happening, but they weren't. They were happening. It took a while. Polio had when polio outbreaks happened, people stayed home.
Right.
Their kids wouldn't get it. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they would have summers of kids staying home, not to get polio, because polio would cripple the fuck out of you, dude. And that's the thing to lose sight of. Polio vaccination saved people. And whooping cough vaccinations save people, and measles vaccinations save people. When people say like, "Oh, there's poison in them," you eat more poison every day, considering the stuff that's in the fucking vaccination that you'll get once.
I know.
There's some. I got a smallpox wound on my leg. When I got shot with a fucking when I got shot in Santo Domingo for fucking smallpox. This is
right.
What the fuck?
Right.
Every time I hear an anti-vaxxer talk shit, I'm like, you're fucking full of shit. It's like we don't call these people out anymore. It's like we let them say these things.
And then we have the
right, and that's okay. You have the right? Give them money to create this mishigas of bullshit. This is bullshit. You're not a scientist. No, your YouTube channels are not telling me anything that I don't know. So back to this understanding of what these things are. We have even Republican statespeople saying, "Come on, enough. Can get vaccinated." And at this point, I don't care. You know why? Here's why. These people are going to keep cooking up these things. The Delta variant is going to become the Lambda variant, which is now pretty fucking. It's out there, and the Lambda variant finds a way. It's not finding a way through these vaccinations, but it is. It's going to just keep. It's going to keep mutating. And the people who get it are going to die, and that's it.
Right.
And that we need to just like, okay, take our. At this point, we'll say, hey, you want to get vaccinated? To have vaccinated. You don't want to get vaccinated? Okay, no problem. And the people are like, well, we don't want passports. You're going to have to get a passport because we don't want your stupid ass coming into our whatever and getting us sick. Right. Because people are still getting it. Vaccinated people get sick. And somebody wrote about, hey, I was vaccinated, my whole family vaccinated, we got it. They must have had a big viral load. They got sick, and that viral load got them, ill, and it was like a very bad bronchitis. But the last thing you fucking want is something like this to happen because we don't know the long-term effects, like we've said before.
Right.
So it's like, it's problematic,
So do you think that this was something just because the anti-vaxxers have been, growing in numbers over the years? Do you think that if this thing was, that's true. If a friend of mine once told me if this was more of a deadly disease, meaning, kind of like you see the effects more, because the problem is not everybody gets the same effects, right? So my friend was saying if this was more of kind of like an impact where if 50,000 people would have died in a week, then people would have been like, "Holy crap!" and they would have like changed their tune on it. But because it was so
50,000
slow
people.
moving,
Hold on a second.
I'm just
Before we
throwing
say-
an example. I'm just throwing a crazy number.
No, wait a
That's what I'm
minute.
trying to say.
Before we say this thing was slow moving, realize, right, that 34,000 people died in New York in 3 months.
Right, I hear you. I hear
Right?
you. I know what you're saying.
That was the top of the curve. 34,000 people in the New York area died.
Right.
Right? That's a lot of people dying of COVID.
I understand, but
In-
then
in-
but
in that
when you
spring,
look at
summer.
it through region, it's like it went in a wave. You see what I'm trying to say? It didn't hit everyone at the same time. It only hit pockets at times, so not everybody got affected at the same time. What he was trying to say, if it would hit people in a faster, it would have been more in your face kind of thing. It took such a long time. People decided, I don't have to worry about it. That's a New York problem. I live in Ohio or whatever. I don't have to worry about it. You know, that type of thing. You know?
Yeah, I understand that, and the unfortunate thing is more is the pity, because what you're actually saying is not my backyard, right? Not my problem.
Right.
And the
I mean,
unfortunate
that's the way some
thing-
people are looking at this.
The unfortunate thing is that it is your problem, because viruses don't stop moving. The whole point is to keep moving, to keep growing. They're organisms. They're not living or dead. Whatever.
And they want to survive.
They want to do the same thing every organism wants to do, which is survive and replicate. And
Right.
that's what they do. And viruses are scary things, and we should treat everything that we learn about these things as dangerous. And it's just like information. Information likes to replicate, and that's one of the ongoing issues that we have with bad information. Is bad information gets passed too. So what do? I don't know. What I don't know. I don't know. I would like people to think more. There's like, all right, critical thinking, but no. Let's talk about critical thinking here. Okay? Let's talk about critical thinking from the point of view of a virus that kills people. Okay. We have the information that we have, which is once you contract this virus, there's a good chance that 10% of the population or 1% of the population could die. When you say that, and people say, well, there's 200,000, 200 million people in the United States, 1% of the population is, 2.5 million people. 2.5 million people is a small city.
Right.
That
No,
amount
I
of people
understand.
dying at any kind of what large space is problematic, because you do not have the resources to help those people that out of that 1% that dies. What was the percentage of people that just got sick? Something like 10%, like got really sick.
Right.
10% already. That's
Right.
blowing up. That's blowing up every single hospital you have. In India, people were dying. They would go to hospital to die. They were telling people stop coming to the hospital, die at home. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
This is not a joke. Do the math in your head. That's critical thinking. You don't teach people to think critically. I just thought critically just now. I gave you a walkthrough of what this means. That's me thinking critically, not it's not going to bother. Let's invert that critically.
Right.
1% of the population dies. Okay. That means that a certain amount of the population has to get it. So the contagion rate was something like, depending on the load, was something like 50%. That's crazy big.
Right.
If you and me and some other guy were in a room, and that guy had the virus, and that means that between you and I, one of us was going to get it.
Right. I hear what you're saying.
That's crazy.
Right.
And then I take that home. And out of the people in my circle, let's say I know 10 people, 5 people will get it. That's incredibly crazy.
Right.
So I did it inversely. I broke it down in a different way. You should fucking get vaccinated. That's all that says. Because the viral,
Right.
and by the way, that means that out of those 5 people, half of one of those 5 people is going to die.
Right. What you're gonna hear to play devil's advocate now. Play devil's advocate. Yes, but not all those people are going to get. Since the symptoms are so varied, not everybody's gonna get sick.
Okay.
Where they have to go to the doctor.
So
To the hospital.
Sure, absolutely, 100%. You're absolutely right. So let's make this larger. And I'm using 50% because I think it's more like 45% or 40%. It doesn't matter, but that's still a fucking big number. Because if you think about it, that means that's 1 in 4. That's one in 4 people. 40%. 40% is not 1 in 4. It's 2 in 10. 20% is 2 in 10. 4 in 10. 40% is 4 people out of 10 getting sick.
Out of 10.
Let's say that. Four people out of 10 people getting sick. Out of those 4 people, 1 of those people is going to die. Out of those 4 people, 2 of them are probably going to be sick enough to go to the hospital. Still big fucking numbers. Because when you start to ratchet that up, those numbers just don't get smaller, they get exponentially larger.
Right.
So that's me doing some critical thinking. And me just doing critical thinking, kicking shit around, being an asshole. Could you imagine if we actually had the numbers in front of us? This is fucking scary. It was scary when we first heard about it. I could not believe that people were acting like it's no big deal. Holy shit. Look at Italy.
I know.
Italy has a third of the population of the United States, and something like had 1 million people die in 6 months. That's no joke.
You're gonna hear that's an older population. The population wasn't designed to take in the hospital care that we have. I'm just giving you devil's advocate of what you're gonna.
Okay. When it comes so let's look at Italy from the point of view of rural America.
Yeah.
Same fucking example of what was happening in Italy. We don't have hospitals like that in rural America. So places like West Virginia, which by the way did a great job vaccinating people. West Virginia got vaccinated quick, right?
Yeah.
Tennessee, which has a large rural population, holy fuck, are they going to get fucked up? Because their rates are just going to go up because people don't want to get vaccinated. So rural America has the same kind of situation as Italy does.
Right.
I don't. This is again. You just gave me a model, and I gave you a response to that model that should scare the fuck out of anybody who's not being vaccinated.
Right. Or isn't taking it seriously. Like, my thing is, if you don't believe in the vaccination world, whatever goes on your head to think that, but some people just aren't taking it seriously. You know what I'm trying to say? They're not even thinking of consequences. Like, it's like when I've heard the one where they say, it's like, you could get the flu, the flu. I don't want the flu. I've had the flu. I've had the flu and it's knocked me out for 2 weeks at a time. Like, I don't want that. The flu. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, it's terrible when you get the flu. Like, you feel like garbage for 2 weeks. Like, even when you get over it, you still feel weird for a couple of days after, a couple of weeks. And
that's the flu. Depending on the viral you get, that's the flu. The flu kills people too, and that's not cool. And the fact that people are saying, "Oh, it's the flu," fuck you. The flu kills people. Something like 100,000 people died in 2019 from the flu because in 2020 people were wearing masks and therefore less flu.
Right.
And less death. I think there was no deaths from the flu this year in 2020.
Yeah, I think it was the numbers are very low considering from past years, right?
And I got a flu vaccination because I ain't stupid.
Right. But now let's be honest. Forget about COVID or any of this that exists. If I tell you, hey, you go to work tomorrow and the buddy next to you in the cubicle has the flu, you'd be like, you stay away from that person. You don't just go hang out with the person. You would say, hey, what are you doing here? Go home. Or you would leave and go work on the other side of the office. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want the flu.
I've been in situations where there's something going around. When people say there's something going around in the office.
Right.
Now, when you hear something's going around in the office, you put a mask on.
Right.
Oh,
if you want to take precautions, you take it seriously, right?
But we know that there's a way for us. Americans are really stupid socially, right? We are really dumb socially. We're dumb, period. Americans are dumb. Hey, you don't like me calling you dumb? Think about what you've done. And by the way, it's okay to make bad decisions. Everybody makes bad decisions. You're allowed, free will. You're allowed to make bad decisions. You're allowed to make any decision you like. But don't come crawling to me and saying, I made my own decision. I'm good. No, you're not. You're dumb. You're dumb and you're stupid. Because that's what Americans are, dumb and stupid. I hope always that we try our best to do the best possible thing. We've had a social stigma about wearing a mask. Now, masks has become kind of like the thing. I'm going to wear a mask on the subway, like I told you. I'm wearing a mask on the subway. If I hear that there's something going on in the office when I'm working at the office, first of all, I'm getting a fucking flu shot. Second of all, I'm going to wear a mask. I don't want to get colds. Colds suck.
I know. Right.
You know when was the last time I had a cold?
Right. No, I know.
2019.
That's why the flu argument thing, blew my mind because I'm like, who wants the flu? Like, it really just like knocks you out for weeks at a time where you just feel like garbage. Like, I don't understand. Like,
you get a stomach, or the flu could also be a stomach bug. You get the stomach flu. That shit sucks.
I know. You
know,
you
both ends
the
for
house.
people. The body's an amazing. The body's an amazing machine.
I know what you said.
Yeah, it's no joke, bro. So yeah,
I hear you. He let that out, folks. He needed that was pent up for 2 weeks, and then he wanted to let it out and just ripped it out of him.
CPAC happened this weekend, and Donald Trump won the straw poll because he said, I lie all the time. When I hear something's great, I make it bigger. When I hear something's bad, I act like it doesn't exist. And he actually said that at his fucking speech, and people were like, what the fuck? He just told you the fucking formula. You people are stupid as fuck. And they're owning us. They're owning the Dems. Oh, my God.
It's good times. Good times.
Or the best thing, Biden's giving all this money away, and it's going to hurt the economy. You were okay with them giving the tax cuts, which is hurting the economy worse, but Biden's giving money away, and it's hurting the... Shut the fuck up. Go to the corner. You in the corner now. This is the whole idea of critical thinking, that we're not critically thinking it here. Come on.
Right.
Holy Hannah.
You sound like Robin in the old Batman series.
What?
You sounded a little bit like Robin in the old Batman, the TV show. He said,
Holy Trumper's Batman. Batman and Robin were once eaten by a giant clam. That's all I'm saying.
Just saying.
Happened. Giant
Use
clam.
that for critical.
Look it up on YouTube,
Use that
folks.
for critical theory.
Put Batman, Robin, giant clam, and see what you're gonna get. It's gonna be pretty awesome. All right. I don't know. I think we're done. What do you think? We're done?
Yeah, I think we go off either Hans Blitzen songs music.
Hans Blitzen. Hans Zimmer. No, I can't. They'll kick me off.
You can't.
We'll put this on YouTube.
The Imperial March. We'll just go off of the Imperial March to end the show.
We can whistle it.
Song of the week.
Oh, Song of the Week, Imperial March. Da, 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 da. Song of the Week. Can't be Danger Zone every week, folks.
Right.
Oh, so Hans Zimmer did a thing for Gladiator, and what he did was there's a band called Dead Can't Dance, and they do all these beautiful vocalizations. And in Gladiator, he had this theme with a beautiful vocalization in it. I'm not going to play it for you now, but you should check it out. Gladiator theme vocalization, Dead Can Dance. And he had this woman do the music, and it's really beautiful. Hans Zimmer also recently did music for a movie that I really like called True Romance. And True Romance has this steel drum thing. It's really beautiful, and it's one of my favorite movie themes of all time. So
that's it. That's what people should do. Call us, write us, text us, do whatever. Hans Zimmer or our friend Mr. Williams back in the day. See who has the best musical scores and compare the two. And then
what do you consider your favorite musical score? And someone's gonna fucking say, James Horner, and I'm gonna say I don't believe you. Or what's his name? The guy did the original Batman, the Batman theme from. Danny Elfman, who did the theme for Batman and also Pee-wee's Big Adventure and Big Top Pee-wee.
Well, the original Batman movie, Prince. You could say Prince.
Yeah, Prince did music, but he did the music for the
right.
And also did the music for the Sony Spider-Man movies, which weren't that great. The first one was not the second one. The second one was done by somebody else. Anyway,
by the way, when Garfield, when they did the one with Garfield, he was living in Park Slope. He was living across the street from Holy Name. Just a little tidbit for you. That house, that's right across the street from Holy Name in Park Slope.
He was living there?
Yeah, across the street from Holy. I could tell you the house. He was living in a row of houses across the street from Holy Name. There's
on the block of the pizzeria?
Really? Yeah, right down the block, a block away from that pizzeria. Yeah.
That pizzeria is awesome.
When you see the Garfield movie and they show the house, that's the
house that in the movie they use house. Interesting. Right. Because they said Queens, but actually Brooklyn.
But he's in Park Slope. Huh?
Now I'm gonna have to fucking.
Who knew?
Well, now I know. I hate those movies. Both those movies are terrible. And I worked on product for one of those movies. Terrible.
Good
They
time.
can do so much. They can do so much. Spider-Man villains are awesome. Secret Six, can't wait. Secret Six and the new Spider-Man.
Secret Six.
Spider-Man: Homecoming. Yeah, you're gonna have the Vulture.
And Disney has a little animated Spider-Man and Amazing Friends coming out now.
What?
Disney has Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends coming out, but they look like the little character Spider-Man kind of thing. Where they look like little big heads and little bodies running around. But it's coming out on Disney.
So it's gonna be Firestar, Spider-Man, and Iceman.
It says Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, and Peter Parker was throwing webs around, shooting the things. So watch it. Big heads, those little the little pop toys kind of things. They look like that. I just saw the commercial not too long ago. Well, I was watching Ladybug and Cat Noir with the kitties.
Spidey Team. Spidey Team?
Yeah, is that it?
Spidey
They pop.
and His Amazing Friends.
Yeah. Your face says it all.
All suit up and swing out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Miles Morales. Oh, I see. They're all Spider people. Spider-Man, Spider-Gwen,
Isn't it Spider-Gwen
and Miles Morales as Spider.
people, friends, hanging out,
Black
saving the day, saving the day. As this
Ghost
theme song
Spider.
just pointed out.
Spin. Boom. B-E-W. Boom. Bew.
You thought it was the old Firestorm.
Oh,
man.
shitty. That was shitty. Yeah. And you know what it looks like? I know what you're talking about. You know what it looks like? It looks like first of all, it's a Sony production, not a Disney production.
Oh, it's not. I saw it on Disney Channel. I thought it was Disney.
Probably on Disney Channel, but it's Sony owns all those. Sony has the rights to those characters, and they're all based on the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse movie, which, by the way, is pretty fucking awesome. I don't know if you've seen it.
Yeah, it was a good movie. That was a good movie. Yeah.
With Black Spider-Man, or also known as Miles Morales, who's half
Morales.
Dominican,
Yes.
half Dominican, half Puerto Rican, and has a black stepdad.
Yes.
Because the Dominican
Cop.
guy disappeared. Fucking Dominican. I kind of like Miles, but I will have to say boo to this particular version.
Well, I'll watch plenty of episodes. because
Oh,
of
boy.
the kids, and then
That's
and then
you.
I'll let you know my idea.
Go Spider. That's
They got big heads. They're cute.
it's their version of the pet show on
Right.
Pet Patrol, or whatever the fuck it is.
Pet Patrol, Paw Patrol. Come on.
Paw Patrol on Nickelodeon, which, by the way, is awful. I really fucking hate that show. I know kids love it, man. I can't. I fucking can't. It's like, oh my god, what are they doing now? Who cares? And it's so slow. It's like, oh my god.
They got Chickaletta. Chickaletta saving the day. It's a chicken. On that note, Hans Zimmer-
Wait. What?
Chickaletta.
Chickaletta is a chicken.
The mayor owns a chicken. It's called Chickaletta.
Mayor owns a chicken. Does the chicken wear like chicken action
No,
clothes?
just a chicken that runs around.
No. Does it wear chicken action clothes? Like the Paw Patrol
no,
guys?
chicken.
Because
It
the
has
Paw
no
Patrol
superpower.
the Paw Patrols have dogs, a cat, right?
Right.
What else? That's it.
They went back to dinosaur days too. They were on top of dinosaurs at one point. It's a whole universe. They were on pterodactyls and stuff. It's crazy.
Oh, it's killing me, man. I think we should go with the Jurassic Park theme.
That's it.
Giacchino also did the music where he aped John Williams Jurassic Park music for Jurassic World. Did you know that?
See?
Even John Williams. Like a
That's
monkey. All right, kids.
That's talent.
That's
That's
it.
it.
We're calling it.
done it
Calling
all.
it. We're done. No more. I'm going to pause this thing. Hey, thanks for watching us. See you next time.
Special shout out to
same-
Hans Blitzer.
Shout out to Hans Zimmer. We'll go on Jurassic Park theme because it's the greatest theme of all time. Oh no, of course not. It's E.T. E.T.'s the greatest theme. No.
E.T..
Not E.T. Not
No.
Star Wars. No. Not Star Wars.
So,
Empire Strikes Back. No.
you see, I see where you're leading.
Here's one start. No. Up.
Up.
Okay. Till next time, folks.
Take it easy.
Take it easy.